Welcome to Speak for Yourself. Marcellus Wiley up here, Emmanuel Acho over there, and let's get started in the AFC where two of the top quarterbacks in the NFL will go head-to-head on Sunday when my Bills face the Chiefs. Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are both coming off 5 touchdown performances in last week's wild card round and will now meet in a rematch of last year's AFC title game. Sparta! So, Acho, who would you rather have for the next 5 years? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes?
So I love this topic because there truly is no wrong answer. However, there is an answer more right than the other. And the only answer that is more correct is Patrick Mahomes. I thought more about this question.
Let's go.
What quarterback would I have for the next 5 years? Well, they're both signed to contracts that essentially take them with their team for the next 5 years. So if you are telling me Patrick Mahomes plus all the resources with the Kansas City Chiefs, because that's what he would have for the next 5 years, then give me Patrick Mahomes over any other quarterback, Josh Allen included. Now, does Josh Allen have a stronger arm than Patrick Mahomes? Sure. Is he bigger? Absolutely. Is he faster? Beyond the shadow of a doubt. But it is a mind that synthesizes all of that information. It is a mind that tells the body what to do and when to do it. So I do not care how fast you are if the mind can't dictate that speed. I've told you this before. My coach always used to tell me, a 4.40 is just a fast mistake.
Fast mistake. Oh,
and so if Josh Allen does not have that same mind as Patrick Mahomes, then all those physical attributes will just end up being very strong mistakes or very fast mistakes, but they will be mistakes nonetheless. Josh Allen is phenomenal. Patrick Mahomes is phenomenal. You can't really go wrong with either. But Patrick Mahomes has gone wrong much more frequently than Josh Allen, which is why I trust the Chiefs in this ball game. I know you trust the Bills. But when push comes to shove, Josh Allen has had these playoff brain spazzes. Patrick Mahomes has had poor playoff moments, but he ain't never spazzed out like Josh Allen. Never mental mistakes. More so physical errors, if anything, or just a lack of help from his offense. Patrick Mahomes, beast. Josh Allen, beast. But I'll end my first slap like this.
How?
You remember watching The Price is Right? What was it, Bob?
Come on down. You're the next.
Down. What I loved about The Price is Right was those final rounds where they tell you what you've won. An all-expense-paid trip to Lake Tahoe, a 5-star hotel for 4 nights where you will have a $20,000 caravan. You can easily choose that. Or what's behind door number 1.
Yes.
And the problem that so many people made, and you are more than likely about to make, is that you will take what is behind door number 1 when you already know what is great in front of you. Patrick Mahomes is a Super Bowl MVP. He's an NFL MVP. He's a 5,000-yard passer. You know what you have in Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen is still a mystery to some degree behind door number 1.
Really?
Give me Patrick Mahomes the next 5 years.
Oh, this is going to be fun. No gloves on because I took them off. I'm about to swing for my man, Josh Allen. Sorry, my brother from another. Good Lord. And you know what? Let me start off with the best way to win an argument. Use someone's words against themselves. I'm not even going to get these knuckles scratched up. I'm going to let Acho hit Acho. Looking like Trey and Boys in the Hood swinging in the air. You started off the argument talking about the greatest quarterback we've ever seen at the age of 26 or younger, Patrick Mahomes. And it's really probably not that close. Let's just be real. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback we've ever seen. But then Acho comes out and there's a conversation, a comparison to another quarterback. On the surface, no one should compare. But Acho comes out and says, well, there's no wrong answer. And to me, that's telling. That lets me know that I have the right answer. Somebody's in the conversation with Patrick Mahomes and actually has a resume that lives up to it, actually has performances that live up to it, actually has production that lives up to it, and actually has talent that surpasses this young, great quarterback in Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen is the right answer. You told on yourself. Let me tell you why. We're having a conversation of potential versus kinetic. And you remember those energy conversations going back to, what was that, junior high, high school? And look, Patrick Mahomes has been in the league longer. So he's going to have a greater resume in terms of volume. But even if we try to match this and match that, Patrick Mahomes has been in the greatest conversation as a young quarterback since his second year when he had 50 passing touchdowns. Josh Allen, you just entered this conversation last year. Let's just be real. You're a newbie on the block. But damn, did you catch up? Who has more total touchdowns in the last 2 years since this conversation really started? Most people blindly at a sports bar, certainly if they pounded a couple, had a few, gonna say Patrick Mahomes. Oh, no. That would be Josh Allen. And do you know that Josh Allen came to a situation that was much worse than what Patrick Mahomes inherited in Kansas City? Let's go back to the Buffalo Bills. When was the last time the Buffalo Bills had double-digit wins in a season before Josh Allen? I was on the team, 1999. When the last time they won a playoff game? You got to go back to way back in the early 90s. You look at this team right now, Josh Allen took a worse situation and already caught up to Patrick Mahomes. And this is the only thing that he needs to do to not only be at Patrick Mahomes' level in terms of accomplishment, but surpass him with accomplishment and talent. Win a Super Bowl. He's one step behind Patrick Mahomes in terms of winning the Super Bowl. As much as we talk about dynasty, as much as we talk about Patrick Mahomes, this is great, he's only one step in front of him in terms of Super Bowl wins. If Josh Allen finishes the deal right now, there is no argument you can make for Patrick Mahomes. The only thing he can hang over Josh Allen is that one ring. But be careful, because Josh Allen already caught him in terms of that talent turning into real energy. He may surpass him this year.
I got to run somewhere and I got to run back.
Oh, you going to the big board?
We running to the big board.
Can I go with you?
Because you can't come if you want to.
I'm hooked up.
I'm like, you can come if you want to, big dog. Sal, you told a couple, here you go, big dog.
I'm scared.
You told one too many lies, and I can't let you off the hook.
Okay, let's go.
Patrick Mahomes is still leaps and bounds ahead of Josh Allen.
Where?
Because even Josh Allen this season, if you want to look at his best season yet total yardage, it doesn't scratch the surface of Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes' 2018 season, big dog.
Yeah.
In 16 games,
Silly.
He still has more total yards than Josh Allen this year in 17 games. Patrick Mahomes, fourth all time behind the likes of Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and then you see Mahomes. Even if you want to include the 750 rushing yards from Mahomes, from Allen, 4,400 passing yards from Allen, which is unheard of. You told me 2 days ago, never before in history, 4,000-yard passer, 750-yard rusher. That is, I'm not going to say as good as it gets, but it's great.
Josh Allen.
But he can't even scratch the surface still of Patrick Mahomes. Now, since you're here, we can stay here and rap for a little bit. Allen's resume, to me, doesn't come near Mahomes' resume. The only place that we can have a conversation is a talent-based conversation. A resume conversation that's not close. Here's why. Patrick Mahomes, 3 AFC championships. Josh Allen thus far only 1 AFC championship game. Patrick Mahomes, 2 Super Bowl appearances. Josh Allen, no Super Bowl appearances. Patrick Mahomes, 1 NFL MVP. Josh Allen, no NFL MVPs. Patrick Mahomes, a Super Bowl MVP. Josh Allen, no Super Bowl MVPs. So even if Allen were to win the Super Bowl this year, which is a big if.
That's a huge if.
Even if he were, we have to assume he wins it, assume he's the MVP, and he's still shy because he's not an NFL MVP. So by resume, he can't come close. By talent, though, that's where I'm going to listen to my big bro.
Well, then listen to your big bro, because this conversation isn't about ultimately who has the greater resume. It's who in talent, in resume, in production gives you the forecast, the projection of the next 5 years. Which horse are you betting on? Think about it. No one's going to touch that season 2018 for Patrick Mahomes. It was insane. But that's not what we're having in terms of conversation. We're having a volume conversation that's going to get maximized by talent. Everyone gets seduced by talent for a good reason, because that gives you the capacity, the square footage necessary to go out there and build something. Think about it. You just bought a new home, a lot of square footage, right? Kanye, Kim Kardashian kind of home. That's Josh Allen. He got rooms that are decorated well, and then he also got square footage he ain't even touched yet. He has untapped potential.
Okay.
And then you look at Patrick Mahomes, Look, I like Patrick Mahomes, but it's a smaller house and it's already well decorated. I don't know if there's going to be a room I walk into and say, I can do this. But with Josh Allen, the imagination takes over, and he already has the realization of a tremendous resume.
I'm glad you led me here.
Come on.
I think there are a lot of lies we believe about Josh Allen in narrative form, and several of the lies are this, that Josh Allen is way younger than Patrick Mahomes. Keep in mind, Josh Allen is only 8 months younger than Patrick Mahomes. Well, Josh Allen, he didn't go to a big football school. Patrick Mahomes didn't go to a huge football school either. Patrick Mahomes went to Texas Tech. They've had 2 good years under Mike Leach way back in the early 2000s, 2007, 2008, 2009. Josh Allen went to Wyoming. Patrick Mahomes went to Texas Tech. It's not as though Josh Allen's ceiling is going to be reached like Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's not like Josh Allen found football when he was 15 in a foreign land, and maybe by year 8 and year 9, he'll be the... We know who Josh Allen is right now, Sam.
No.
He's going on year 4.
No,
He's been in the league for a while.
No.
He's 25 years old.
No.
He's been one of those, foreigner stories.
Don't do that, because now we're going to do the whole Joe Burrow argument. It's his second year, but he old as hell. Okay, fine. Josh Allen has 1 fewer year than Patrick Mahomes in terms of production, right? And in this conversation, when someone just went out there and was on a record-setting pace, Patrick Mahomes, for young quarterbacks, holds almost all the records. Respect? And then there's this conversation of who's this Josh Allen kid that has now entered the conversation of the greatest young quarterback. He did that on his own merits. He did that because, 1, he went to a worse situation and made that situation great once again.
He did.
2, he has more potential than Patrick Mahomes. He's just like Patrick Mahomes, except he's bigger, he's faster, and he has a better arm. What does that mean if you're a play caller? If you're a play caller, you look at him and say, there's nothing we can't do. And we're doing it in worse conditions. Buffalo is worse than Kansas City, played in both, in terms of the day, weekly conversation of what's the elements. What do I have to do? What do I have to deal with? He's just different, bruh. He's the most talented at the position. And right now, he's putting up stats that are comparable to the greatest at the position. You got to give him his fair due. And if you don't right now, for the next 5 years, you certainly not going to bet on someone who has not touched their ceiling once again, and we don't know where Josh Allen's ceiling is.
To me, though, the quarterback position is vastly different than any other position in football. Just because you are bigger, faster, and stronger at the quarterback position does not give you a higher ceiling. Bigger, faster, stronger at the quarterback position, those are attributes, those are necessary attributes, but those are by no means the most important attribute.
Facts.
Because I got to figure out what's that processor like.
Facts.
Otherwise, every big, fast, strong guy, you might have played with that receiver out of Arkansas, transferred into a quarterback, Matt Jones.
I did play with Matt Jones.
6'6", 240,
Yeah.
ran a 4.4, was not a good quarterback, moved him to wide receiver. Big, fast, strong arm doesn't just make you the best. Tell me about that processor. We know Mahomes' processor thus far is better than the processor of quarterback Josh Allen thus far.
One, let's not use an example of Matt Jones, respect to my former teammate and my dog, who wasn't playing the quarterback position and then try to make an argument about those tangibles at the quarterback position. He left the quarterback position. Bigger, faster, stronger translates differently on the football field. Be real. Be real. Patrick Mahomes went to a better situation, right? Be real. He's already got a year up on him. And be real, he has greater offensive minds and greater talent around him than Josh Allen. Josh Allen is starting right there and still is right here. Think about how this can play forward, because the conversation is next 5 years. That includes this year. If this year finishes where Josh Allen is like, hey, I got me 1 too. Now you start to look at this completely different. I don't need that ring to look at this differently. I know I'm betting on the horse that is catching up to the greatest to ever do it.
You said it. You said the operative words there are catching up.
Yes.
Eventually, Josh Allen needs to catch up. My point is this. At what point are we going to say Josh Allen has reached his peak? Because I don't think Mahomes has reached his peak either.
You don't?
Josh Allen is shot out the gate.
You don't?
He has. Well, here's the thing.
He regressed this year, be real.
Even if Mahomes has reached his peak, what is his peak? 5,300 yards, 4th most all time, NFL MVP, Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP. If that is Mahomes' peak, even Josh Allen's peak cannot surpass that.
Why?
You can't get better than an NFL MVP unless you're a unanimous MVP. You can't get better than a Super Bowl MVP, and you can't get much better than 4th all time in total yards in a season unless you're 3rd, 2nd, or 1st. So even if Josh Allen peaks, his best still can't really do better than Patrick Mahomes' best because Mahomes' head is hitting the ceiling.
We're using two different time samples and references, but let's just do this. We got Patrick Mahomes' first year losing to Tom Brady in the AFC Championship game. Check, right? Well, we saw Josh Allen lose to Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game, so that's a watch, right? Patrick Mahomes sits there and says, I've been to 2 Super Bowls, won one. Okay. Josh Allen is this year sitting there like, maybe we can win one this year. We'll figure that out. We'll find out. But let's just say he does it. All right. Then you start to look at, well, Patrick Mahomes, you've been to 2, but one of them you didn't even score a touchdown. So now we're going to start to minimize that because we see, one, the rooting interest would change because the facts have changed, the information has changed. But 2, how did this meteor, where did this comet come from? And it's bigger, faster, stronger in a way that is actually tangible. The new quarterback, see, you got the old way of thinking. Tom Brady is still running that game on everybody in terms of, well, you don't have to be mobile. You don't have to be 2.0. That's fine. You're right. But the game has changed to protect the quarterbacks, to allow for 2.0 quarterbacks, mobile quarterbacks, to flourish. So now you're going to start to see, why does Patrick Mahomes have fewer total touchdowns, Patrick Mahomes, than Josh Allen the last 2 years? Because the rules are helping Josh Allen to go out there and run the football and actually cross the goal line with his feet, not just throwing the ball. It's just going to add up better for Josh Allen, who has a lesser coaching staff, has lesser offensive minds, has lesser talent, and has worse conditions, and is still right there next to the greatest, supposedly, to ever do it. Come on, Josh Allen, let's get this money. Coming up, speaking of quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers is going for Super Bowl number 2. I'll tell you what another ring would mean for his legacy, but first, Dak Prescott apologized for his comments on the officials after Sunday's loss. We'll tell you if he needed to do that. Next on Speak for Yourself.
You need to do all that, Dak.
Needed to do that.
Cowboy season ended on Sunday, and after the loss, fans were upset, throwing trash on the field. Now, quarterback Dak Prescott thought his teammates were the targets, but when he was told it was actually the officials, he said of the fans, quote, well, credit to them then. Whew, Dak got some criticism for that one. And yesterday, in a series of tweets, said he deeply regretted his comments. He went on to tweet, I hold the NFL officials in the highest regard and have always respected their professionalism and the difficulty of their jobs. The safety of everyone who attends a game or participates on the field of a sporting event is a very serious matter. Woo! Spicy,
man,
spicy. So Dak went out there backpedaling faster than Deion Sanders. Marcellus, did he need to apologize for his comments on the officials?
No, he didn't need to apologize about his comments about the officials. I'll tell you why, because now with this apology, it really brings attention and highlights how disingenuous Dak Prescott is being about this entire situation. This is an 8 Mile moment right here. Dak Prescott, you caught yourself, and now the world is going to see how you got caught. Let me tell you why. Because if Dak would have just left things as they were, post-game comments, obviously you ruffled a few feathers about those comments, and people are like, oh. But you know what the benefit of that was? It humanized Dak Prescott. We actually got to see an emotional, vulnerable side to Dak Prescott. Because this is the guy who says everything right, everything perfectly. Even if he doesn't perform perfectly, you know in character and in a statement, he's going to say all the right things. This wasn't the right thing. But okay, Dak, good for you. You're a human being. Finally, take the battery out the robot and let's see you as a human being. Maybe that translates on the football field. We see a little more gangster out of you. But no, Dak Prescott, in this moment, he saw there were 2 sides, and Dak started hopping sides. He knew that the fans were going to attack him. He knew the fans were going to come for his head after that game, especially the way it ended with the 14 seconds and the quarterback run. He knew fans were aiming at him.
So what'd he do?
No matter what trash they were throwing, they were aiming at Dak. So what'd he do? He camouflaged himself and acted like he was one of the fans. And you know what? Yeah, those referees, right? Get them! And then he waited a couple of days, calculated like the robot he is. Like the picture perfect, Mr. Say Everything Right man he is. And then he flipped side, this habitual line stepper, just flipped sides, and all of a sudden now he on the referee side said, hey, I shouldn't have said that. Much respect to you. Man, you ain't gonna get us with this 8 Mile stuff you doing over here. Dak Prescott, you would have been better served if you would have just made a mistake and just lived up to that mistake by performance. Now trying to say all the right things, bro, you talking out of both sides of your mouth, and it doesn't look genuine.
I want more of that. I'm not going to talk very long because I want you to expand and expound on that. Dak did not need to apologize at all. Everybody's so quick to pick up stones. We go with the wind is who we feel like being upset at today. We wake up, it's Dak? Yeah, let's get mad at Dak. Here's why Dak didn't need to apologize. After Kirby Smart won the national championship for the University of Georgia just a couple weeks ago, he gets up at the podium and he says, man, there's going to be some property torn up in Indy tonight. You want to know what that is? That's inciting a riot.
Yes, sir.
You want to know what inciting a riot can be punishable of? A misdemeanor offense. But nobody looked at it because Kirby and Georgia had just won their first national championship in 40 months. Kirby Smart literally, now mind you, he was quoting a quote, but Kirby Smart, the head coach of the University of Georgia, gets on the podium, national television, and says, televised, mind you, because Dax was not televised. Kirby says, televised, man, is there going to be some property torn up in Indianapolis tonight?
Say that.
He incited a riot. And hasn't nobody besides me up until this point brought up the fact that Kirby Smart, the head coach of Georgia, on national television encouraged people to tear up property in Indy. That wasn't a big deal.
No.
But we woke up, let's get mad at Dak. Dak didn't incite the fans to throw bottles onto the field. Dak didn't even encourage the fans to throw bottles onto the field. Dak just did not condemn the fans for throwing bottles onto the field. So how are you going to punish or be upset at Dak because he did not condemn something? We don't applaud Dak when he does condemn something. So how you going to be mad at him for not condemning something? Dak didn't say, yeah, fans, good job. Y'all should do it. Unlike Kirby Smart, who actually said there will be property torn up. Property hadn't yet been torn up, but he said there will be. Property had already been thrown during the game. And Dak just said, well, good for them then. Yeah. So I do not understand the frustration and the anger more so with Dak Prescott. He did not participate. He just did not condemn. But the greater point is the point that you made, which is simple. Anytime all the fingers are pointing at you, if you can just turn around and start pointing fingers in the same direction just to someone else, now they are distracted from you. But you elaborate, please.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's called displaced aggression. It's a phenomenon, it's a dynamic that everyone goes through to different degrees. Acho, you come to work and you get bullied, battered, beaten by me every single day for 2 hours. No, but in real world, real life, people have tough times at work, right? So your boss is saying this, he's just dropping papers on your desk and walking away without a thank you or a hello, right? And you got to take it. Then you get home and your significant other's there. And all they want to know is what you want for dinner. And you're like, what? That wasn't for them. That was for the boss. So Dak Prescott knows, there's a lot of red dots on my head right now coming from these fans. All of them pointing at me. Dak, what the hell? 1-3 in the playoffs? Dak, what the hell? That last quarterback run, Dak. And he displaced his aggression. Hey, referees, better you than me. And he just passed that hot potato to those referees. It's crazy. Did Kirby Smart say that after the national championship game? Was that January 6th? Was that an insurrection? Oh, no. That was Dak Prescott with his press conversation. That was a misdirection. Insurrection, misdirection. Y'all catch the connection. Here's the thing. Dak, all you had to do is sometimes you got to be that guy, even if he's not right in the moment. We've been in team meeting rooms before, right? And we sitting there. And then, when you're struggling, you ever had the players only meeting, close the door, right? All of a sudden, to me, those never work. But hey, we have them. And then everybody's just going around. We need to work harder. We need to tackle better. We need to do this and this. And someone always takes the period to an exclamation point. Hey, y'all, shut the... Right, that guy, right? He says what he has to say. And then at the end, he apologized. He's like, I ain't mean it like that, y'all. I just want y'all to know what I'm really feeling. I think Dak Prescott missed a moment for us to finally get behind the veil, to see what he was really feeling. What he was really feeling should have been revealed and shouldn't have been corrected. But unfortunately, the robot had to take over.
Thank you. This is also why Dak Prescott should not have apologized, because this is who Dak Prescott is. Human.
Yeah.
with emotions. After the game, Dak Prescott realized I underperformed. 53% completion percentage, my biggest game of the season, and I had my second worst completion percentage of the season.
Boom.
Everybody is going to be up here mad at me. I'm human. I do not want to take all of this blame, so let me find someone else I can blame. The referees.
You already know.
And now we sit here and we ostracize Dak Prescott for his comments, and now he's going to walk him back and go back to being Mr. Politician and not actually speaking from his level of humanity.
Yes.
That's who Dak Prescott is.
Yeah.
But why else should he have apologized? He made a mistake. It happens. Refs don't apologize when they make mistakes. Uh-oh.
Hello.
Because the refs made several mistakes, not just during that game, but the entirety of the playoffs. Raiders, Bengals. Uh-oh. So if the refs aren't going to apologize when they make a mistake and miss a call to the detriment physically, financially, and emotionally of the players, the Cowboys players, mind you, Trayvon Diggs got a little cheap shot during the game by Jawan Jennings, receiver of the San Francisco 49ers, that the refs missed and didn't call. So if the refs are going to make mistakes to the detriment physically and emotionally and financially of the Cowboys players, but the refs don't go up to the podium and say, yeah, that's on us.
Yeah.
Then what does Dak Prescott need to go up to the podium and apologize for?
Yeah.
It was the fans who did it, not Dak Prescott who did it. Why does Dak need to clean up the fans' mess? Furthermore, you asked him a question, he answered the question, but this is really what gets me hot. We didn't know what Dak Prescott said until people who were in the interview space told us. But everybody in interview space was ha-ha and kiki-ing.
Yeah, they laughed
after the quote.
Yep.
Because Dak Prescott said it in jest. Dak Prescott said,
great
well,
point.
good for them then. And everybody in the stadium with all their phones out recording, Dak Prescott. That's literally what it was.
Quick.
Dak Prescott just said that the refs should have been gotten thrown stuff at. 'Cause that's society.
That's how it goes.
That's society. Those pats in the back, they turn into stabs in the back real quick. So what Dak Prescott was feeling in that moment of, pats, good joke, Dak, good joke, Dak, good joke, Dak. Stab, 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 stab. And y'all know who you are because we know who y'all are. Reporters, Cowboys reporters, national reporters, Cowboys beat writers. Because y'all was laughing, y'all was ha-haing, y'all was kikiing, and then y'all was tweeting. So Dak Prescott does not need to apologize. He just needs to be cognizant of if you're going to be human, people are going to kill you for your humanity. So you better go on being the same robot that you've always been.
We in a good place right now. But I'm sorry, brother. Just got to alert my Venmo. Yep. Dak sent the money. It's time to activate the law firm of Wileyism. I got to defend Dak now. And look, be real. He didn't need to apologize, but it's good he did apologize in this respect. You always apologize when A, you're wrong, or B, you caused unnecessary harm to someone else. The image of referees, the job that referees have to do, it's an imperfect job, obviously, just like playing the quarterback position. Dak Prescott, you certainly lived up to playing that job imperfectly, right? So it's no one's out there going unscathed. We understand that. So Dak, being a bigger man in this moment or correcting yourself, because I'm now activated at the law firm, I got to say a little respect for that, even though I rather you not apologize for this one. But this is also something we got to pay attention to, because this is something that my wife always highlights to me. It's not what you say, but how you say it. It's not so much that Dak apologized and what he said, but how did he say it? He didn't even say it. He tweeted it. Are we taking a tweet serious like that? Like, I get I'm older, so, I see people now at funerals and they tweeting. And I'm like, damn, dog, you just can't stay in the zone. You can't stay in the emotions. But people want everyone to know how they're feeling, and it's genuine to them. To me, it looks disingenuous. You at a funeral, you tweeting, you talking about, I apologize, and you're tweeting it instead of speaking it. Like, oh, man. But the point is, the way he did it, the medium, I wonder if it's really going to hit home for people, because to me, that's not the most genuine form of apologizing.
Who was he apologizing to, and why was he apologizing?
Okay.
You don't need to apologize to the fans, because the fans were the ones participating in the act. The fans are the reason you had to answer the question in the first place.
And he jumped on their side anyway.
Don't need to apologize to the fans. Only people you needed to apologize to were the refs, all 6 to 8 of them, which you could easily do in a call. You could easily do in a handwritten letter. Head coach for the Raiders, Rich Bisaccia, wrote handwritten letters to all 63 of his players after the culmination of the season, just thanking them. So if you were apologizing, you didn't need to apologize to me. You don't need to apologize to the fans. Don't need to apologize to your teammates for what you said, maybe for your play, but not what you said. So who are you apologizing to and why? This goes back to what you always say. It starts with a P, I forget, but just doing things just cause. Pandering.
Oh, pandering? Oh, yeah.
Like,
y'all out there.
If you are apologizing to sway the court of public opinion will never be swayed by an apology.
Yeah,
just so you know. An apology does not lead to public opinion feeling sorry for you. An apology just continues to fan the flame. If you don't apologize, which you didn't have a reason to publicly, just privately, then the world would not still be talking about this right now. There was no reason to apologize, and I saw no point in it.
So you said Rich Bisaccia wrote a handwritten letter?
Handwritten letters.
Old ass feather tip too, huh? I bet him. Old ass. Yeah, they ain't gonna give him that job now. Let me say this, and you said something that was funny to me. I gotta get my levity in here. It's too deep right now. You said Raiders bangers. That's redundant. Hello, go Chargers. Okay, now let me get one in. You said something I told my sister last night. Really, it was this morning. It was like 1 a.m. I was talking to my sister on the couch. We breaking bread. Tell me if this happened to you. You said, Dak, who are you talking to? And then you told it to reporters who laughed in your face. And then as soon as they got to their phone, they wrote something in a different tone, right? And I want players to understand this and even fans to understand this. When you're on the playing field, the football field, between the white lines, there are only two things you hear. Cheers and boos. Make a play. Go get a sack, Wiley. Go get that tackle for a loss, Acho. Oh, let them beat you for a touchdown. Boo! Oh, Wiley, come on, man. Keep contained. Boo! Now, this is why I love the fan experience, and I love the real fan experience. I got season tickets with fans. I'm not in the suite. I'm not protected. I ain't got security. Ushers ain't with me. I'm just like, what's up? Because I want to live that element, because for so long I had to perform in that element. Not the smartest, safest thing, but you know what? I like going through it. But let me tell you what's different. When you're on the field, boo. When you're in the stands, cut him. He sucks. I hate him. His mama. And it's crazy how that translates to just two things. Dak Prescott needs to understand with these reporters that translates to, oh, gotcha. And if you can't be smart enough to understand that, apology or not, ain't nothing gonna change. Coming up, Aaron Rodgers has one Super Bowl title on his resume. Resume. We'll tell you what another Lombardi trophy would mean for his legacy. Next on Speak for Yourself. Raiders bangers. I like that. Saturday, the NFC Divisional Playoff presented by Intuit TurboTax Live is on Fox as Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers head to Lambeau to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. It all starts 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app. And speaking of that game, Aaron Rodgers is an MVP favorite, and he's already won a Super Bowl. But the New York Post wrote, there is one blemish on his resume, adding, quote, for all the remarkable things he's accomplished, he should have more than one Super Bowl ring on one of those trophy shelves. Ooh, Acho, what would another Super Bowl mean for Aaron Rodgers' legacy?
It would mean he's closer to meaning. LeBron James at 4 chips doesn't mean much in comparison to 6, but 5 gets him closer to 6.
Okay.
So 4 means nothing, but 5 gets you closer to the number of meaning. Aaron Rodgers, 2 doesn't necessarily mean a ton, but 2 gets you closer to 3, and 3 is the separation point.
Okay.
3 is the differentiation point. There are 12 quarterbacks that have won 2 Super Bowls.
Okay.
You got the likes of Ben Roethlisberger, Jim Plunkett, Bob Greasy, etc. But it's only 3 that have won 3+. That's when you get into the aspect of Montana. That's when you get into the aspect of Brady. That's when you get into the aspect of the other greats. So when you talk about Aaron Rodgers, yes, Terry Bradshaw, when you talk about Aaron Rodgers, he has to figure out how to not just be talked about as the most talented, which we so often talk about him as, but how can he go from the most talented to the best? What you're looking at here is multiple MVPs and multiple Super Bowl titles. That's when you see the Montana, that's when you see the Manning, that's when you see the Brady. Right now, Aaron Rodgers in resume form, same amount of titles as Russell Wilson, and he has multiple MVPs, but Aaron Rodgers is currently greater than his resume. And for him to win another title, now at least his talent cell and his resume will be parallel to each other.
I feel you. I'm not going to go there with you, though. And I feel you, but I'm just going to let your hand go. Your palms were sweaty. I was like, let them go. You ever do that in church? The pastor be like, hey, everybody hold hands. You be like, oh, hell, I'm going to pray for your hand. What's wrong with you, Dusty? Okay, here we go. Aaron Rodgers winning a second Super Bowl would not mean as much to your legacy as you think. Let's start here. If Aaron Rodgers retires with just one Super Bowl ring, it's going to look and feel the exact same as if he were to retire with 2 Super Bowl rings. Right. Let me make this argument why. Okay. I don't know about you, Acho, but I get a lot of email updates, you know. Dak obviously hit me with the Venmo last segment, so I had to activate the law firm. I got one the other day. Coachella is back. Did you get that yet? Okay. You been to Coachella yet?
I have not.
You have not? Oh, perfect. So this is a blank canvas over here. Let me start to paint. Okay, if you go to Coachella for the first time, everybody's thinking, okay, there's levels to going to Coachella. The first level is just go out there and then camp out. You know, just go to houses and mansions and just party out, and that's it. That's the basic party broke level. Okay, then there's another level, general admission. Now, general admission sounds like what it is. It's general admission. Coachella is huge. So if you're in general admission, you in Gen Pop. 3 house in the cot, bro. I'm talking about you going through the struggle. It's okay. Now, some people out there with $5 to their name start to think, I got to get away from Gen Pop, general admission. So let me do something different. A VIP pass. Now, when you get a VIP pass, you get that lanyard, you walking around different color, you know you do, right? But I made that mistake. It's not a mistake. I made that price and I made that purchase. You walk into VIP and you're thinking, see you later, peasants. This is your second ring if you're Aaron Rodgers. See you later, peasants. And you walk into VIP and the first thing that hits you is, damn, there's a lot of people in here too. You're looking around like, okay. And then you start to say, what's the difference between VIP and general admission? Nothing, except maybe one more bathroom. So now you start to say, wait a minute, 1 ring, 2 ring, not much difference. 1 ring, 2 ring, not much difference in name and caliber of player and resume. What's the difference? So I'm going to tell you like this. Aaron Rodgers is going to hear these words haunt him, even if he gets his second ring. That's it. When I walked in there, that VIP, and I looked around after I had a few, because I was like, damn, I just wasted money. I said, that's it.
That's good.
And Aaron Rodgers, with 1, look at the list. And then with 2, look at the list. I don't know if it takes him to another echelon, at least not as high as he thinks.
You're exactly right. And you and I are saying to a degree the same thing. 2 don't mean a thing for Aaron Rodgers.
No.
He has to get to that landmark of 3 because that's where you see Troy Aikman. 4 is where you see Bradshaw, Montana, and then Brady's almost untouchable.
Boys.
But at 2, Aaron Rodgers is like Dan Marino now. Dan Marino in the sense of we thought he would never be touched. Now, Dan Marino clearly never got his Super Bowl ring. He went to it, but Dan Marino was the greatest quarterback we had ever seen, thought he'd never be touched.
Facts.
But then people came along and toughed him up a little bit. Not literally, but in the narrative form of, not only do you have quarterbacks that might be as talented, but now they have rings. If Aaron Rodgers don't get another one, Patrick Mahomes will not only have caught up to him, he will leap and bound away from Aaron Rodgers. So now we'll be looking at Aaron Rodgers in 3 or 4 years from now like, was Josh Allen as good as Aaron? Joe Burrow as good as Aaron? We know Patrick Mahomes is as good as Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers' lead versus a field of other quarterbacks that are up and coming is not far ahead at all. I think that's the biggest thing for getting a second ring and particularly getting a third.
Yeah.
If Joe Burrow gets one this year, if Josh Allen gets one this year, what's the difference? Some MVP titles that Joe Burrow and Josh Allen are likely to get? If Joe Burrow gets one this year, what's the difference in narrative? Think about a Bengals organization that has been the dregs of the NFL, ain't won a playoff game in 31 years. If Joe Burrow were to get him one, we looking at Aaron Rodgers like, Aaron Rodgers, clearly you good, but you've been in the league for 15 years now. Ooh. You inherited a team that was 13-3 just 2 years before you took over as a starter under Brett Favre. Meanwhile, we're looking at the narratives of other quarterbacks just as great as we're looking at the narrative of Aaron Rodgers. So I think if Aaron Rodgers wants that separation, that's what 2 rings would mean. But it really has to be 3 because you're exactly right, whether it's Coachella, honestly, any concert.
Anything.
When you go to that, bro, you can talk about planes. When you be economy versus first, and the first ain't got the lie-down seats, especially since COVID, and the first ain't got the good food no more, all they give you is peanuts, and you thinking I could have bought some peanuts in the airport before I got on the plane. What was the difference between first and economy? A little bit of leg room? And some peanuts? Same thing.
Yes, it is. Trevor Noah has a tremendous comedy routine about first class, how it's overpriced and overrated. It's so funny. Y'all check that out. Oh, Aaron Rodgers, man. I know what you want because you deserve this, at least based on performances, right? He deserves to be in that exclusive club, something that I wish I would have purchased when I went to Coachella. And I've been several times. I saw Outkast, I saw Kanye. Oh, like one of the best moments in my life when you heard, and you look around, and then and then there's another moment. Forget y'all. Let me do this other moment too. It was pitch dark, right? And all you heard was, good Lord, lost my mind. But I was in VIP. Okay, so everybody lost their mind because I was with everybody else. I remember running into the homeboy who was the manager of Nas. Now, Nas was walking around doing this thing, performing, blah, 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 whatever he was doing. I don't know. I ain't seen Nas, but I saw my boy who was the manager. And I looked at his lanyard, and I looked at his thing, and he had something that said, Artist Pass. Now, he was riding around on a golf cart. Meanwhile, I was just scuffing up a Nikes, right? I looked at it, and his access was different. They thought of him different. You could see how everybody was coming up to him different because they wanted that access as well. Aaron Rodgers, there's an exclusive club. There's an Artist Pass out there. Obviously, Tom Brady is holding it and is kind of stingy and giving them out. But that's what Aaron Rodgers needs because of his greatness, because of his performances to get to that level. So, it's funny, in the A block, we were having this conversation morphed in a different way. I was saying, Patrick Mahomes, you got one, and Josh Allen has none, but it's really close to catch you, and all of a sudden, what does the conversation look like? It's crazy that Aaron Rodgers already has one, but then Joe Burrow this year can go get one. You imagine that conversation? But more importantly, and unfortunately, if Aaron Rodgers gets two, I don't think the conversation changes much. Staying with this game, Terry Bradshaw, who has 4 Artist Passes, still has plenty of cash left, so Fox Bet Super 6 is bringing back Stack the Cash to give away even more of his money. Scan the QR code, download the Super 6 app, and enter the divisional round contest featuring 49ers and Packers for a free chance at the growing jackpot. Then invite your friends, general population, because the more people who enter, the bigger the jackpot gets. Coming up, Allen or Mahomes, Brady or Stafford. We're picking a quarterback in each divisional matchup this weekend. That's next on Shoot for Yourself. Welcome back to Coachella. Look at me. Speak for yourself in the divisional round weekend. It's right around the corner, and we have plenty of star power under center. We're going to reveal which quarterbacks we take in each matchup. Acho, you got to get a starter, big dog. Who are you going with between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen?
It's going to be the toughest one of the weekend, but I got to go with Patrick Mahomes. Reason I'm going with Patrick Mahomes, the veteran presence of it all. Now, Josh Allen is as hot as he has ever been. 5 touchdown passes against a Bill Belichick-led defense, but Patrick Mahomes, 5 touchdowns in 11 minutes of game time. The fastest it's ever happened in NFL history. Gonna be back, gonna be forth. The highs and the lows. I think Patrick Mahomes will sustain the lows greater than Josh Allen will. Give me Patrick Mahomes.
And give me Josh Allen. I think your image is distorted, just like this picture up here, because ain't no way Patrick Mahomes is as big as Josh Allen. Y'all need to keep this on the proper level, just like in terms of performance, how I see this playing out. Josh Allen, over the last 2 seasons in the playoffs, won 3 of 4. Josh Allen, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception the last 2 postseasons. Josh Allen, 111 passer rating. Josh Allen outperformed the same guy he's in this frame with right now in the regular season. And it wasn't even close. Oh, Patrick Mahomes, you ain't got to look behind you to find Josh Allen because he's right next to you. Ooh, all right, let's move to the NFC. We have Jimmy G taking on MVP favorite Aaron Rodgers. was 0-3 in the playoffs versus the 49ers. Ouch. Who would you want Saturday? Jimmy G or Aaron Rodgers?
This was easy, big dog. The only thing that will sustain Jimmy G is a great running game and his phenomenal defense. But Aaron Rodgers is a man on a mission. Aaron Rodgers, 3-0 in his last 3 divisional round games, 300 yards per game, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception. Aaron Rodgers is going to breeze past this game, in my opinion, in my mind. Yeah, the Niners, they did what they were supposed to do. They beat the Dallas Cowboys. They did that handedly. Jimmy G, remember, still out there playing with a broken thumb. The Niners still don't even have their starting running back. Fred Warner, you know he's banged up with that ankle injury. Bosa coming out of concussion protocol. So I will not at all be disappointed in Jimmy G nor the Niners if and when they fall. Keep in mind, I believe they're playing on a short week. You go to Dallas, go back to San Fran, and I believe this game is on Saturday. You got to go back to Green Bay. So not mad at all in the Niners. Aaron Rodgers, I don't even think he's looking at this game. You know track and field, you know hurdlers. Hurdlers don't look at the hurdles. They look at the finish line. Aaron Rodgers is looking at the finish line. Uh-oh. That's the hurdle for him? You didn't even hurdle me. Oh! Aaron Rodgers is going to hurdle right over this one and on to the next.
Yeah, well, the last time Aaron Rodgers finished the race victorious. Only one time. Interesting. They're not facing each other. I'd say Aaron Rodgers as well, but boy, did you make this a no contest when I'm like, he doesn't face him. He faces that defense. He has to face what the 49ers do, not just what Jimmy G does. And be real about Jimmy G. He is the greatest enigma. We don't know what's going on with him. He is a magic straw that stirs it all together because he just has that Midas touch. They played each other this year. Aaron Rodgers, MVP candidate this year, front runner. Yeah. What was the score of that game? 30-28, that close? Something about Jimmy G. They were winning with a minute to go in that game and lost by a field goal. You got to put some respect on Jimmy G, even though I'm with you. I'm going with Aaron Rodgers. All right, let's move back to the AFC. Who would you take Saturday? Ryan Tannehill with the number 1 seed, Titans, or Joe Burrow in his second career playoff game?
Surprisingly, even as mismatched as that last matchup is, Jimmy G versus Aaron Rodgers, this to me is the biggest mismatch at the quarterback position. Joe Burrow with ease. Joe Burrow, these last 3 must-win games against the Ravens in Week 16, against the Chiefs Week 17, and against the Raiders in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Dude averages over 300 passing yards a game. He has 10 touchdowns, no interceptions, 76% completion percentage, 134 passer rating. Joe Burrow is a man on a mission, just like Aaron Rodgers. But Joe Burrow has that unrealistic, unmerited confidence, which players actually need. He said in his presser yesterday, I think we'll talk more about it, he's not that hyped because this is the floor for them. He's like, this ain't the ceiling no more. This is a new Cincinnati. This is a new Bengals team. I think Joe Burrow will dominate this game. I also think the Bengals will win.
I'm with Joe Burrow, but that whole dominate, this is the problem. Ryan Tannehill didn't have as great a season as Joe Burrow, right? I don't think Ryan Tannehill is as good a quarterback as Joe Burrow already. I give you all that. But Joe Burrow hasn't been to this level before. Let's go and stick in track and field. When you're out there and you one city and you're like, yeah, and then coach's like, all right, next weekend, pack them up, we going to state. And you get to state, and it's a different level because it's not just everyone in your locale. It's everyone across the entire state. It seems like moving up that level, we may see Joe Burrow still perform well. But will the team actually perform as well? He's coming in with a stronger balance. He's coming in with Derrick Henry healthy. And he's coming in somehow, some way, so well coached that even without their best player, they still were moving. I think Joe Burrow's going to ball, but maybe lose.
Here's my issue, though, Sal. We've never seen Joe Burrow be phased yet. Now, you mentioned, well, he was phased when he got beat out at Ohio State. Sure, I think you mentioned that in jest.
I did.
But we haven't really seen him be phased yet. You go from Ohio State, mind you, he's born in Ohio. You go to LSU, the SEC. Yeah. You go play an Alabama team, which is the most dominant team in college football over the last 15 years, not phased. Then you get to the playoffs. You get to a national championship game, not phased. Then you get to the NFL. You tear your ACL, your MCL, your PCL. Joe Burrow, you're not going to come back from that. Carson Wentz, he didn't come back from that. He had an MVP caliber season. He blew out his knee. But then you come back, not phased. Bengals haven't won a playoff game in 31 years. Playoffs, Raiders, not phased. I haven't seen him be phased yet. I just don't anticipate that it happens now, if ever, Sal.
Well, nobody's perfect and nothing is perfect. Keep watching. Maybe this is the weekend.
True that.
We'll see. And finally, we have Matthew Stafford right here on the west side taking on the GOAT, Tom Brady, on Sunday. Who are you going with, Stafford or Brady?
I'm going Matthew Stafford on this.
Man, you just doing television.
No, I'm going Matthew Stafford.
He even laughing at it.
I don't know, and remember, I hope that the Rams will win the game.
Oh, shucks.
But Matthew Stafford, he only had to throw the ball 17 times last game.
There's a reason. There's a reason.
He had 2 touchdowns and 4 incompletions.
Yeah.
I think Matthew Stafford will be much more efficient than Tom Brady. Tom Brady will more than likely be tasked with doing more.
How?
I don't think because what Sean McVay does, Sean McVay attacks people. Bruce Arians, his system is his system. Sean McVay is going to look at the Bucs and say, which weak link are we going to go at? If it has to be with the run game, it'll be in the run game. Pass game, pass game. Sean McVay makes Matthew Stafford's life easier than Bruce Arians makes the life of Tom Brady.
Yeah, but I can't go against the GOAT. I can't go against Tom Brady. These are the magic moments he always conquers, no matter who his foe is. A few years ago, it was Patrick Mahomes surging 50 touchdowns. Man, come on, y'all. Last year, it was Patrick Mahomes again. Come on, y'all. Stop sending them my way. Last year, he went through Aaron Rodgers, went through Drew Brees. Like, come on, y'all. Stop playing with me. Here's the thing. I know Matthew Stafford's going to do more than he did last week, in part because he's going to need to do more. But Tom Brady's going to have more to work with. Last week, no playoff Lenny. Last week, they didn't have the running game like they desired because now they're going to get all of their assets back at the running game. I look at Tom Brady like Matthew Stafford. This is going to be big for him. A lot of pressure on him, but in those magical moments, in the moments that matter most, you ever bet against Tom Brady? And if you do, you're a losing man. That'll do it for our divisional round. Quarterback pick him. Oh, he hot right now. We'll see which quarterbacks will lead their teams to the conference championship. Get off the camera before it goes after that. Coming up, Dak Prescott only has 1 playoff win so far in his career. Why we keep saying that all show? Leave him alone. We have a lot to say about that next. Don't speak for yourself. Jimmy G won the pictures, though. The Cowboys' loss on Sunday means Dak Prescott is now 1-3 in the playoffs in his first 6 seasons as the Cowboys starter. A tweet referenced that Dak's playoff mark matches former Cowboy Tony Romo's in the same amount of time. Our own Jimmy Johnson responded, tweeting, quote, "A shame." Ooh. Acho, what are your thoughts on Dak's 1-3 playoff record?
It's a shame. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely unacceptable. Remember, Dak Prescott showed up to the Dallas Cowboys, and the Dallas Cowboys had likely 3 Hall of Fame offensive linemen, 2 we know for certain. Zach Martin, Tyron Smith. Remember, Travis Frederick's career cut short due to health issues. Dak Prescott shows up in 2016 to the Dallas Cowboys and has the greatest wide receiver to score touchdowns in Cowboys history. That's Des Bryant. Dak Prescott shows up to the Dallas Cowboys and has the greatest running back in the league that year. That's Ezekiel Elliott. So Dak Prescott shows up to the Cowboys in 2016 with the Hall of Fame tight end in Jason Witten, 3 Hall of Fame offensive linemen, 2 at minimum, the greatest touchdown receiver in Cowboys history, and the greatest running back in the National Football League. And you did not win a playoff game. Sure. A shame. Embarrassing. Sure. Okay, 2022. Dak Prescott now has a $100 million receiver in Amari Cooper, a first-round pick wide receiver in CeeDee Lamb, 2 offensive linemen that are Hall of Famers again. Zach Martin and Tyron Smith are still there. You still have Ezekiel Elliott, albeit he's hampered. You have a Super Bowl winning head coach in Mike McCarthy. You have a 10-sack guy on defense in Micah Parsons, a 10-interception guy on defense in Trayvon Diggs. You're hosting the playoff game, and once again, you lose your playoff game. That is a shame, and that is embarrassing. When Dak Prescott plays good in the playoffs, he allows other quarterbacks to play better. Aaron Rodgers, 2016. When other quarterbacks play bad, Jimmy G, 2022, Dak Prescott plays worse. That is a shame, and that is embarrassing. So I wholeheartedly agree with the great Jimmy Johnson, who says it is a shame that Dak Prescott's playoff record is 1-3, because it is both a shame, and I will raise that and also go on to say it is embarrassing.
Woo, woo, woo. Oh, man, I'm going to disagree with you, which makes me disagree with Jimmy Johnson. It is not a shame, but it's a shame we think this way. It's certainly in our analysis of Dak Prescott and who he is. Let's first start here. Let's talk about the relationship that exists on every single football field, on every single football play. Remember when we used to sit there and coach used to sit there, all right, with the little red dot on us, and he used to highlight the positive plays and the negative plays, right? And one thing I started to notice that maybe 1% of the plays actually occurred where I just dominated the opponent and just got them. But most of the plays that were positive for me were actually just me capitalizing and taking advantage of their negative play, and vice versa. I told you before about that Barry Sanders conversation I had. And Barry Sanders was saying, what's the difference between a 6-yard loss and a 60-yard touchdown? 6 inches. Negative plays happen because you take advantage of someone's issue, someone's mess up, and then it becomes your positive play back and forth. I only gave you that as perspective because I want to talk about Dak Prescott's 1-3 record with positive and negative performances. Dak Prescott, Green Bay, they lost, right? What did the defense do? Anybody? Gave up a season high 34 points. Worst defensive performance of that year. Y'all gonna wait till the postseason to do that on me, Dak Prescott, when I actually outperform Aaron Rodgers. I have more touchdown passes than him, same amount of interception, 1, and a higher passer rating. I did my part, defense, so that's one of the 3. Now let's talk about the Seattle game. That's the one. So do we want to talk about it? He won that game. He outdueled Russell Wilson, a champion. Okay, so far 2 for Dak. 2 positive performances for Dak. L.A. Rams, remember that game? Do you? Ezekiel Elliott, you want to talk about him? You want to talk about that game? 20 carries, 47 yards. Ezekiel let him down. Dak, positive performance. Zeke, negative performance. Rams capitalized on that negative performance. Maybe 3 good performances by Dak Prescott, and then we get to the last one. Damn it, I want to say, coming up, I want to get out of here right now because I don't want to talk about this San Francisco game. I give y'all the San Fran game. Dak, that ain't it. That ain't going to do it. But if you look at it, all of it together, out of 4 performances, 3 of them, you could actually absolve Dak of any guilt or any negative performances and blame others.
Here's the problem, Sel. You know that's not the way the world works. You can do that, but we won't do that, nor should we do that. And the reason I say this is it doesn't come down to how good you were. It's good as a relative experience. You and I had this conversation before. Someone asked me, Emmanuel, are you a good person? I was like, well, it depends how you define good. Because if you compare me to somebody who's locked away in jail for murder, attempted murder, whatever the case is, well, sure, I'm a great person.
Yeah.
But if you compare me to the person who's never lied, stolen, cheating, done whatever the case may be, I might not be as good a person. So as it pertains to Dak Prescott, his performance against the Green Bay Packers, was it good? I don't know. Aaron Rodgers' was better. Aaron Rodgers is translated to a win. As it pertains to Dak Prescott's performance against Jimmy G, was it bad? Absolutely, because it was worse than Jimmy G's.
Yeah.
Was Jimmy G's bad? I don't know. It was good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, was it bad? It's good enough. As I look at it, the problem with this Cowboys team and Dak Prescott's record, the reason it's a shame, it's just not good enough. You cannot have that much talent. And in 2016, the Cowboys were the most talented team in football, more likely than not. You had a quarterback with an MVP vote, 3 offensive linemen going to the Hall, minimum 2, the best running back in football, and the greatest touchdown receiver in Cowboys history, and you could not win a playoff game. This year, you have the greatest offense in football, more likely, at least based off talent. You have the number 1 scoring offense in football, and you cannot win a playoff game. Here's my biggest point of concern and my biggest point of contention. If you couldn't do it this year, Cowboys, then when? Dak Prescott is not getting better. He might not get worse.
He's not getting better. Let's not do that.
The reason I don't think he's getting better, you 6 years in. He might get healthier. He might not miss a game this year. So statistically, he might improve.
He's not getting better?
I don't think it's not like you're going to see any sort of exponential growth. But keep in mind, Sel, everything is relative. So is Dak getting better? As long as Dak Prescott does not get better at a faster rate or a greater rate than Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert, then he ain't getting better. Because better is relative. So if Dak gets better by 5%, but Burrow, Allen, Herbert, Mahomes, Murray all get better by 10%, then Dak Prescott actually got worse. Because a game of football isn't played against yourself. The game of football is played against an opponent. So this 1-3 record's a shame because it's never going to get any easier. 5-6 versus everybody else. 6-0 versus the NFC East. The NFC East is only going to get better because the Giants head coach can't get worse. Jalen Hurts only has 20 starts. He'll likely at least get a little bit better, or the Eagles will find better. And Washington played with a backup quarterback all season. This was as easy as it could get, and y'all still couldn't win a game.
Man, we got layers now. It's time to cry because it's time to peel back this onion. Ooh! He ain't getting better? You know Dak is averaging 300 yards a game passing under McCarthy, and it was 246 with Jason Garrett. That's getting better.
Relative.
Well, relative to himself, too. Yeah, his completion percentage is higher, better. You know what's crazy? He had 5 400 passing yard games in 21 with Jason Garrett and all that before. And now he has 5 in 21 games with McCarthy. Let me say it right. And he only had 3 with Jason Garrett. 5 in 2 years, and then the other games, 32 of them, he only had 3. Getting better, big dog. Let's look at Dak Prescott in totality, and let's look at Dak Prescott under a microscope. You said some names that you say, are you keeping up? Are you keeping pace with them? Relative. You said good quarterbacks, right? So tell me, should these quarterbacks feel ashamed about how they've performed so far? Let's start with Matthew Stafford in the playoffs. Should he feel ashamed? He should? Okay, that's one. All right, I'll give you that. What about Carson Palmer, historically? You know, he had a 1-3 record. Carson Palmer?
Yeah, you got to give me more details.
1-3. It's a shame? Okay, that's fine. Let's go with Lamar Jackson. You said he was a good quarterback, but he should feel ashamed about his playoff
record, yeah.
Okay.
And Palmer, more than likely.
Okay, let's keep going. You know, I'm ramping this up because I'm going to get your heart. Kirk Cousins, he should feel ashamed about it. Of course, okay. What about Deshaun Watson? Look at that face. Look at that face. What is he? 1 win. These are all the 1-win quarterbacks. That
one in what?
1 and 2. Okay. Losing quarterback in the yeah. Whoa, you had a case for Deshaun there. Friends we are.
I know he ain't 1 and 3.
What about okay? Let's talk about my friend then, Peyton Manning, 1 and 3. He was 1 and 3. Should he feel ashamed?
At the time, absolutely.
At the time, yeah. You were gonna walk up to Peyton Manning at the time and say, "Be ashamed of your 1 and 3." Okay, I agree. All right. Wow. But the point is, I'm not built that way. Let me tell you why. I don't justify my behavior, but I always have a positive rooting interest. I have the biggest cheerleaders in my head with the biggest pom-poms always saying, go Marcellus. I can only assume Dak Prescott has the same. If I'm Dak Prescott, I have to not justify a 1-3 record, but find the positives that comes from, okay, I've taken my lumps so far. Because I just listed good to great quarterbacks. I mean, I even listed a Mount Rushmore quarterback who are in the same position, if not worse than you, Dak Prescott. What the hell do I have to feel ashamed about? And let's make sure we understand what shame means. A painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by the consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior. I just told you, Dak Prescott, in these 4 games, 3 of them, you can absolve him of any wrong. Yes, you can.
Not of any.
He outperformed Aaron Rodgers. You can't say, oh, Dak, you get a pass.
Because he did not outperform Aaron Rodgers.
He did. He had more touchdowns and a better
performance was the same, but Aaron Rodgers was the reason the Cowboys won. Aaron Rodgers was the reason the Packers won that game. Dak Prescott was not. You need to, at some point in time as a quarterback, be the reason you won.
Facts.
Let's get into the locker room and let's look at you and say, dang, you the reason we won. Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl versus the Niners. You the reason we won. How many times did we see that play wasp, 3rd and 15, Tyreek Hill? Essentially, it was a post corner route, fading away, throws it off his back foot. You the reason we won. I'm not going to say, Jimmy, you the reason we lost, but can I at least say you the reason we won? Tom Brady down 28-3 against the Atlanta Falcons. You the reason we won. Joe Burrow against the Las Vegas Raiders in the playoffs. You the reason we won. We've never been able to look at Dak. Even in the victory versus the Seahawks that year, 2018, we've never just looked at Dak and said, you the reason we won. We look at all these other quarterbacks, Peyton Manning in the year they won the Super Bowl, and we can say, in Indy, and we can say, you're the reason we won. But we can't look at Dak, even in his victories, and say, you are the reason we won. You were part of the win, but you weren't the reason we won. I'm waiting, Sel, for us to be able to look at Dak Prescott and say, hey, you were the reason. Not you were there, not you were present, but you were the reason. And even in your victories, he can't say he was the reason. That's problematic.
You know, I noticed in this world, that it's easier, obviously, for us to judge others, criticize others, but not put ourselves under that same level of scrutiny when it comes to the same exact situation. So it's time to personalize this since you want to talk shame. Acho, were you ashamed of your playing career? Let me talk about my playing career before you answer that. My playing career, on the bench behind Bruce Smith, Phil Hansen, on the bench behind Bryce Pop, on the bench, getting time here and there, splashes. Then with a back surgery, with a broken back, I get 10.5 sacks. Then the next year, I break my foot. With a broken foot and no practice, I get 13 sacks. I set an NFL record. I don't like to say this often, but I set an NFL record for guys in their first 2 seasons starting number of sacks from Compton. I said, so anyway, all of a sudden, they started talking about me like I was the next tostada on the block, right? And I never lived up to that. I'm going to tell you for real. People try to tell me good about my career, bad about my career. I'm not listening to y'all. I'm not ashamed of my career either. Your playing career, you talk about it in jest, seriousness, I don't know. But are you ashamed of your career? Only reason I bring this up is because I'm not going to look at someone who is 1-3, who is still keeping pace with the greatest quarterback, in my eyes, Peyton Manning, ever to play, and is going to look at that and sum up, you should feel ashamed. And if I am, I just got to make sure I bring that same energy when it comes to Marcellus Wiley and your up and down ass career.
I will say this. Mine got me where it wanted to go. In my football career, just looking isolated at my football career, I would say I underachieved. Now, some might say I didn't because I'm a 6th-round pick. 6th-round pick, Cleveland Browns.
Right.
You got your 4 years, NFL averages 3 years. Hey, ain't nothing to be ashamed about. But knowing the potential I had, I probably could have done more, gotten more out of that. Now, I'm a little bit different. I didn't scratch and claw to stay in the league. I got 4 years, vested pension annuity. I'm good.
Okay.
But if you're Dak, 4th-round pick, not a lot of expectations.
Okay.
But now you're the starter behind Tyron Smith, maybe the best left tackle of this generation, but Trent Williams is making a great push. Zach Martin, maybe the best right guard of this generation. And Travis Frederick, solid player. Ezekiel Elliott, one of the greatest rookie campaigns of the running back position we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Dez Bryant, top 5 receiver in Cowboys history. Jason Witten, top 10 tight end in NFL history. And you don't win a playoff game? Okay, forget that. That's your rookie year. 2022, CeeDee Lamb out wide, Amari Cooper out wide, Zeke behind you, Ced Wilson, even if Michael Gallup's not there. And then on defense, even if we mess up, we got Diggs to cover us, one of the greatest campaigns we've ever seen. We got Parsons to cover us, one of the greatest rookie campaigns we've ever seen. And you don't get a playoff win out of that? Got to be ashamed. Now, Dak can look back if he does what Peyton Manning did, turn around, win a couple Super Bowls. His whole career in totality, nothing to be ashamed of. But at this junction in time, Sal, if you are underachieving, you should be ashamed of your underachievement.
Great point. So I got to nail you down on this one. It's time to bring the chains out. We got to nail you down on this one because I need to spot the ball for Acho. Are you ashamed of your career? Are you ashamed of your football career? Because if you say that answer, I want that same amount of scrutiny, criticism, judgment, and energy to Dak Prescott. I'm looking right now. I got the chains. I'm about to put it down. Are you ashamed?
I would say yes.
Oh, you damn.
I would say yes.
Who told you that lie?
But the shame doesn't impact me.
Okay.
That's what I would say. Okay. I'd be like, if I looked at my NFL career, I'd be like, I could have got more out of it. The difference is I made a conscious decision not to. After 4, I was like, you know what, Acho? I still have the text message on my phone to this day that I didn't respond to from the Buffalo Bills scout who brought me in for a workout. The reason I keep it on my phone dating back to 2016 is to remind myself, ultimately, I said no. They didn't say no to me. I still had an opportunity. If Dak Prescott is consciously making a decision to not get the most out of his career, then bet. I consciously made a decision to not get the most out of my career because I was like, hey, there are greener pastures on the other side. I don't think Dak can say that, but if he can, then, hey, take pride in this. But if you're trying to get the most out of this and the most is 1-3, that is something to be ashamed of.
Damn. That's why I like going deep with you because I learn something new about you all the time. And what I just learned is no wonder we haven't hung out. You keep messages way too damn long, dog. You got the receipts. Wifey, I ain't hanging with this fool. Catch me. Coming up is this Super Bowl or bust for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. We'll answer that next on Speak for Yourself. Oh, you got to delete my messages every month. Like,
the Chiefs trying to get back to the Super Bowl for the third straight season, but it does not stop there. After the win in the wild card round, Patrick Mahomes said his squad has a Super Bowl or bust mindset. So, Sel, I know you hate when you hear this, but I got to ask you, do you agree? Is it Super Bowl or bust for the Chiefs?
I hate hearing that. I have a rule. I don't agree with that. It's not Super Bowl or bust for any team out there. But every rule is made to be broken, especially if you want me to break that same rule. Oh, Chiefs, y'all done talked me into this. Oh, you want me to edit the rule because you guys told me you're going to have a dynasty? Okay. Well, Patrick Mahomes, after signing his extension, says we're chasing a dynasty. Travis Kelce says the dynasty is just starting, baby. It's just starting. Motivated to do it again for sure. Ooh, been waiting for a minute on that one. Tyreek Hill told me we ain't done yet. Chris Jones said this is a dynasty in the making. One championship, but they a dynasty? What do I call their dynasty? Die-nasty. Interesting. So now I'm going to change the rule because y'all done talked me into it. Y'all done talked it up. Okay, well, go out there and do something. Okay, we going to get back. Oh, you did get back. And how did that turn out? You wish you came back. No touchdowns in a Super Bowl performance with the greatest young quarterback in NFL history. I just don't see this team having a dynasty. I am not wishing ill on this team. I want them to maximize their talents, but I also want them to walk it before they talk it. And so far, it seems like their words are in front of their actions. So now, because they want to keep talking it, all right, it's time to start walking it. It's Super Bowl or bust for one team out there. The talkative Kansas City Chiefs.
I agree, man. It's Super Bowl or bust for the Chiefs, and here is why.
What?
When we talk about Joe Burrow, we say one of the best young quarterbacks. Justin Herbert, one of the best young quarterbacks. Kyler Murray, one of the best young quarterbacks. Josh Allen, one of the best young quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes, the best young quarterback. We remove that one of, and we cut straight to the chase with Mahomes. He is the best. The Chiefs' expectations are higher. They've already won a Super Bowl. They've been back to a Super Bowl. So just playing in these little rinky-dink regular season games don't mean nothing for the Chiefs. Chiefs are in the NFL playing right now for one purpose, winning another Super Bowl. When you look at the Chiefs and their roster, these guys are trying to cement Hall of Fame statuses. Regular season wins mean nothing.
Okay.
Playoff wins mean minimal. The Chiefs players are playing to solidify Hall of Fame legacy. Travis Kelce is playing to see if he's going to be first ballot or not. Patrick Mahomes is playing to see if he's going to be first ballot or not. Tyreek Hill is playing to see if he's going to get into the Hall of Fame or not. Tyrann Mathieu is playing to win another Super Bowl to try to get into the Hall of Fame. Playoff wins, regular season wins, they've been there, they've done that. They wore that T-shirt, that Super Bowl T-shirt. They are playing now to cement something bigger, to cement something greater. Andy Reid, is he going to be a first ballot Hall of Fame coach or not? That's what the Chiefs roster is playing for. They don't really care so much to win a wild card game, win a divisional game. It's Super Bowl or bust for them because everything outside of a Super Bowl collectively for this Kansas City Chiefs team is meaningless. They understand that, and it's best we understand that on their behalf. So I told you this before. My NFL career, I may be ashamed. But of my other attributes and accomplishments, I'm proud of them.
Okay.
If I write another book, it's bestseller bust. I know I am. March 22nd.
I was about to say, it's
bestseller bust.
That's right.
It's not a matter of like writing books just to write them joints. Obviously, I want to write them. I want to move the needle. I want to move hearts, all that. But it's bestseller bust because I've been there. I've done that. I've had that plaque. If you create a show, it's Emmy or bust. That's what it comes down to. Because I've been there, I've done that, I won that. Talk about it, Sale.
You won that and you won that back to back.
For me, big dog, once you've accomplished something, it's either that thing or it's nothing in my mind. Now, I'm a little bit of, I don't like to be nominated. I like to win. You feel me? Like, that's just how I live my life. So these Kansas City Chiefs, I don't think they like to be nominated. They like to win. I don't think they want to make the playoffs. That's the nomination. They want to win the Super Bowl. So I feel them on saying it's Super Bowl or bust because anything else, why? What was the reason?
Strong. Woo, I felt some subliminal disses up in there, too. I don't want to just get nominated.
I like to win.
I like to win. I just want to get nominated. Like, you talking about I wrote a book, too, damn it. You talking about bestseller or bust. Bestseller, huh? My book, just sell the best you can. Now, meanwhile, inside my head, I'm cocky as hell. I'm over here competing like a mug. Cocky is coming up with a little show. Here we go. I played against dynasties. You ain't gonna fool me with just saying dynasty and I'm just gonna take it. You can't put lipstick on that pig and fool me. No. 1 in 3 years, maybe 1 in 4 years, or maybe 2 in 4 years. We'll see what the Chiefs end up doing. But I played against the Broncos. Y'all didn't even call that a dynasty, and they went back to back on us. I was playing back to back. I was like, what the hell is it? No dynasty? Well, I don't want to hear no 1 in 3 or 1 in 4. That ain't a dynasty. I remember the Patriots. Now, Patriots are interesting because when they won their first 3, no one said dynasty. Like when I retired from football, no one was saying the Patriots was a dynasty, even though they won those 3 championships before I retired. 3 in 5 years, right? Then all of a sudden they won another 3, and then you're like, okay, we got to add this all up, San Antonio Spurs style, like how the Spurs never won back-to-backs, but they just won so often, so many times, and got 5 over 15 years. You say, all right, forget it. That's a dynasty. So there's different ways a dynasty can look. I'm just wondering, are the Kansas City Chiefs going to find themselves in that position? Not by my definition, but even by their definition. Let's continue with team captain, or at least spokesman, Tyreek Hill, who says, Chris Jones is a man of his word. We definitely creating something special here in KC. Facts. Why not 5? Why say 5? Why not go 7 rings? These are quotes. Quotes. Right now, we're just chasing Jordan. They ain't talking about DeAndre Jordan either. They're talking about Michael Jordan. So that's what we do. So I'm going over 5. And I'm saying, this is some good math, Tyreek. 7. He just skipped 6. Like 6 ain't nothing. Where they do this at? Like, please, dynasty, I have an image. And then I have these literal words. Make them make sense.
Okay.
Are the Chiefs ever going to live up to their words?
Well, here's the thing. The Chiefs are on track to living up to their words. Be real, Sal. If the Chiefs win 2 years ago and then they win this year, but last year they struggle, they don't even make the playoffs, we wouldn't even necessarily look at them as a dynasty. We'd be like, okay, we got to see more.
Okay.
But if the Chiefs were to win this Super Bowl, that last year going to the Super Bowl is the glue to connect that dynasty.
Yes, that's so important.
You are right. They are 1 Super Bowl away from us literally being able to say 3 years straight, 2 out of 3, that's the dynasty. If they don't have what they had last year, which is at least going, we would have been like, okay, they won 1 year, and then they didn't win. They didn't even make the playoffs or something. They struggled, and then they won. We need to see more. We weren't calling the Patriots a dynasty after the first 2. Patriots win 1, I believe it's 0-1. Then they don't even make the playoffs in 0-2. Then they win 0-3. They win 0-4. After 0-3, it wasn't dynasty. No. After 0-4 is when we said 3 and 4 years. Bet you're good.
Okay.
If the Chiefs win 2 and 3 years and go in between, then I think we got to say, yo, you good.
Okay, fill in the blank. Remember, we're going back to that class. St. Mark's again. Let's do it. First year, you don't make an AFC Championship game. Second year, you win it. Third year, you go, but no touchdowns. I don't know if that even matters. This year, give it to me 2 ways. How they have to win it, is that still a dynasty? And if they don't make it, what are the Chiefs?
If they win it, dynasty. If they don't make it, they were a really good team.
Damn.
Like because think about the Bucs. At this point, what's the difference between the Chiefs and the Bucs? If the Bucs mess around and go back to the Super Bowl this year, the Bucs are exactly who the Chiefs were the last 2 years.
Right.
So if they don't even make it, they're just a nice little flash in the pan.
Man, got to look at Webster's to find a definition of dynasty, because, boy, seems like it's all over the place. Coming up, it's that time. It's the wild card edition of Dat Dudes. Find out who made the most difficult list in sports. That's next on Speak for Yourself.
Know that football is won up front. Bow. That's old school football right there. Sack after sack after sack.
Look out.
Say good night. Like night night. Boo that, boo that, boo that. A little dance move the front. Throw them off. He's Superman. Hey, wah. Bullet guard. Yeah. Gotta show some love in them trenches where them big uglies reside.
Look at this boy out there. Oh, so everybody's seen this play, but everybody doesn't know why this play occurred. Oh.
You get that right.
Welcome back to Speak for Yourself.
He with a back shoulder.
Boy, I would have towed you up across the middle in the old NFL. It's time for a playoff edition of Dat Dudes.
Ain't this my read? This is my read. You calm down, you let me talk, and then you do the rest.
Right.
It's time for the return of that Dudes News. Marcellus is going to highlight the best of Wild Card Weekend from the guys in the trenches. Let's start in Kansas City, where a Steelers linebacker showed his elusiveness to bring down Mahomes.
You got me thrown off with your butter hands. Let's get over here. Alex Highsmith, no chip, cold dip. Good Lord, Patrick Mahomes. Oh, got caught slipping right there on this play, and I know why. My man Alex Highsmith comes through. First thing he does is I'm going to hit you with that chop move. Now, on this chop move, here's the thing. You got a 6'8" guy who's in front of you who's not necessarily bending over, so he's still 6'8". Now you chop. Oh, he ain't there. Look at this, though, and rewind. Look at his eyes. Look at what he's going to do in terms of his foot on the ground, but it's going to be two. I'm talking about two different planes, two different access points. Not only is he going to go up the field, but he's going to now change direction and get lower than Zeus Jr., Orlando Brown Jr. You know you got to get lower than that or at least come with some punch. Now, Patrick Mahomes, smart man. Hey, that's the Defensive Player of the Year right there, TJ Watt. So that's who's in my vision, and I got the ball unsecured out here. Don't do that against Buffalo. You know what's going to happen. So here you go. Who's behind you? Alex Smith. Now watch how he does this. You see those legs? Got to bring them down that way. Say hello to your savior. Alex Highsmith, you're on number 3. That
now
dude.
we got to head to D-Town, where 49ers D-tackle brought the heat on Dak Prescott.
DJ Jones, who got my back? I got your back. Shout out to 2 Chainz, who you don't think is a star, huh? All right, let's now look at DJ Jones dragging Dak down. DJ Jones, what? You got this sack in the film room. Let's talk about it right here. You can see the center and the guard. Now, he may be expecting fan protection. Oh, center goes away, and he knows it. He's like, I got some space to work with. So now all I'm going to do in this move is a stutter club swimming. Woo, because he got all that space right there. Hey, 52, you should know that you ain't got your boy got your back, so you need to go protect yourself. Now, DJ Jones, he in this moment, you know you're going to hold. It ain't going to work. Now he on the ground. Look at him peeking. Hey, Dak, let me tell you something. Run. DJ Jones is coming. He 300-some pounds. DJ Jones, get over here. I got your back. Shout out to 2 Chainz once again. And then this is something that we all used to do. This is the dead leg sack. All of a sudden, 300 pounds on your back. Dak, never hesitate to put Dak on his back. Dead leg sack. I see you, my dog, DJ Jones. Who got my back? I got your back.
I need to see some better celebrations out there, D linemen, though. All we got this time was, one of these and then one of these head bump joints.
Act like you've been there before.
Give me something better for this one, because finally, taking a look at the top spot at Eagles defensive end, who was able to take down the GOAT.
Man, let's look at my boy Ryan Kerrigan over here, about to act up, and he gonna get the GOAT. Got their GOAT right here. You see a sack. Tom Brady. Is this a better celebration? A little bit of that, little Mighty Mouse. Let's see how he gets it going. All right, Josh Wells is the offensive tackle. Who's the backup? So now in this moment, he thinking that the only reason I'm out here because this is what happened to the starter, Tristan Wirfs. Same game. He did this to him. Ryan Kerrigan is a beast, so it's my turn to go out there and block him. My turn to make my money. My turn to wear my Letterman jacket. Look how he throws him off tempo, off stride. Comes with the outside foot and the inside stab. Oh, man. The starter couldn't deal with that. So let's go to the blimp. What do you think the backup gonna do? Look him way up there, Acho, right there. Just get pushed back out. He out there kick-stepping. He out there looking like one of the Rockets. He don't know what to do. And Tom Brady, you know he's not going anywhere. Ryan Kerrigan, let's zoom back in on you right now. Get him down to the ground. And then Acho says he wants to see a little more out of you. Hit him with the high. Yeah, baby. I like that lunch. A little better for you, Acho?
Is Ryan Kerrigan a Hall of Famer? I think he's at 94 and a half, 95 and a half.
I just stopped when I was thinking of Ryan Kerrigan like he's so much better than I was. So, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer because I'm a French Hall of Famer. Damn right.
Kerrigan is a beast. That's going to do it for the Super Bowl wild card, for the Super Wild Card Weekend edition of that.
That's when you used to bucket.
Tune in next week to see who takes home the hardware. Can I see the hurdle form again?
The hurdle form? Oh, yeah. Take the side. Give me on camera. Go. My hand.
Jalen Hurts earned the starting job for the Eagles. Ooh, cannot wait to debate that one. Next, we got to get an answer. Speak for yourself.
Let's head to Philly.
Acho's old stomping grounds, where the Eagles were sent packing by the Bucs on Sunday. And Jalen Hurts threw 2 interceptions during the game. But there's a bright spot for the Eagles quarterback. General Manager Howie Roseman said today that Hurts has earned the starting job for next season. So, Acho, did Jalen Hurts earn the Eagles starting job?
He earned the opportunity to start. But you know what? Here's what it is. And Eagles fans, I'm going to level with you. I don't think anybody on national television has been cut by Howie Roseman, so let me keep it real. I've been cut by Howie Roseman, not just one time, but ample amounts of times. I'm cool with Howie. He's a friend of mine. He texts. But Howie cutthroat now. Howie's going to do what Howie needs to do to make sure the Philadelphia Eagles win another Super Bowl. And if that means committing to Jalen Hurts verbally and publicly right now, of course Howie's going to do that, because that's smart. Get on the podium, end of the season, let your final thoughts be complete affirmation behind your quarterback, Jalen Hurts. He's earned the right to be the starting quarterback. He absolutely has. Now, Russell Wilson has earned the right to take over the starting quarterback job if I can get Russell Wilson. Aaron Rodgers has earned the right to take over the starting job if I can get Aaron Rodgers. Deshaun Watson has earned the right to take over the starting job if I can get Deshaun Watson. But as it stands right now, with those who are employed on the Philadelphia Eagles roster, Jalen Hurts has absolutely earned the right to be the starter. Just know Howie Roseman is the ultimate competitor. Do not let his size nor his stature fool you. I remember when I got cut by Howie, I've told this story before. I made the team on a Sunday after final cuts. On Monday, I'm getting a haircut, prepared to play our opening Sunday night game. I'm getting my first haircut. I get a call from Howie Roseman. Acho, Howie Roseman speaking. Hey, man, just want to let you know we found another guy. It's not that you're not fast. He's just a little bit faster.
Whoa.
It's not that you're not quick. He's just a little bit quicker. I had earned the starting job on Sunday, and by Monday at 3 p.m., I no longer had the starting job. I had earned a spot on the roster on Sunday, but by Monday at 3 p.m., I had no longer earned a spot on the roster. As it stands right now, Jalen Hurts has absolutely earned the starting job. But make no mistake, Howie Roseman, the general manager for the Eagles, plays no games. If he can find a way to improve at the quarterback position, I'm telling you right now, he will. And I'm telling you right now, he should.
Wow, you personalized that. That's real. Golly, that's how he cut you?
That's one time.
One of the times, right? Hey, it's me again, Howie. Good Lord. Man, stop. Of course, Jalen Hurts has earned this. And I don't think Jalen Hurts needs to be spooked by the boogeyman, or Russell Wilson in this case, or any other quarterback out there, because Jalen Hurts is someone you bet on. That's what Howie Roseman has come to realize, and he's not going to make the same mistake twice. What was the first mistake? Not betting on him in the first place. Think about it. This offseason, Jalen Hurts wasn't named a starter. He comes into the season, into training camp, not named a starter. He had to compete. What a first-year head coach that many were saying didn't even deserve the opportunity to be a head coach. Jalen Hurts all of a sudden sees him trade for his competition as well. And Jalen Hurts is still like, yo, I'm here. And you know what he finally made them all realize? You always bet on a worker. Always bet on character, because we get seduced by talent left and right. And I get why, and it makes sense. But you know one thing about Jalen Hurts? He's always going to be a winner, because he's always going to work for his success. And I think they came to that realization, especially after starting off 2-5 and still making the postseason. Only 10 teams ever have done that in NFL history. But more importantly, he led the team in passing yards. While he hit the quarterback. And rushing yards. Oh, anybody? Didn't have proper balance necessarily, but still went out there and got this team to the postseason. Now, they had to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which are the Super Bowl champions with the GOAT. Yeah, they're going to take their whipping. They're going to take their lumps. But I think they came to the understanding and finally the realization, you need to bet on that dude. That dude's a winner.
Here's the interesting thing, though. If I'm going to knock the Cowboys for playing in the NFC East, I have to be fair and talk about my Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles were 3-2 in games they cared to win in the NFC East. They didn't play their starters in the Week 18 matchup against the Cowboys. The Eagles made the playoffs because they got to finish the season Washington, Giants, Washington. They got to finish the season Jets, Washington, Giants, Washington.
Yep.
We would all be deceiving ourselves. We would be deceiving ourselves as Eagles fans or fans of football to think that the Eagles should be content or are at a point of contentment in their quarterback room and with the quarterback position because of what they did down the stretch. Understand your opponents. Do not make the same mistake that the Cowboys have made in thinking that they are great because of how they have dominated the NFC East. Eagles, you made the playoffs because you finished the season playing the Jets, the Giants, Washington, and Washington. Make sure you self-assess yourself and realize that Jalen Hurts might be the starter, but you need to make him compete and make him get better as well. Coming up, Joe Burrow is showing a lot of confidence heading into the Bengals' next playoff game. We'll tell you if he's keeping it 100 99. That's next. Speak for yourself.
What are you looking at? On this show, we only know how to keep it 100 and look at the right camera, but others, they only keep it 99. Each day, we're going to get to the bottom of who's really telling the truth. Case in point, the Bengals won their first playoff game in 31 years last weekend. That's older than you, Archer. And Joe Burrow decided to downplay the achievement. Take a listen.
I try to downplay it and all that because this is how it's going to be from here on out. This is a great win for us, but this is the standard for the bare minimum every year going forward.
So, Archer, is Joe Burrow keeping it 100 or 99?
I think he is. Now, it's weird. Joe Burrow,
I gave you options.
He is. He's keeping it 100.
Oh, keeping it 100.
My bad. In my head, I'm already saying he's keeping it 100. I'll be concise. Joe Burrow's had a very easy path, but I think Joe Burrow's made his path easy. He goes to LSU, instantly wins a national championship, but he's the reason he did that. He comes to Cincy, and 2 years later, they win a playoff game, but he's the reason he's done that. So I think Joe Burrow looks at himself in the mirror and says, everywhere I go, there I am, and I'm happy to see me.
And he's happy to be who he is. Look at this video right here. He on that Travis Kelce right there, bro. Hey, he good in every borough, as they say. Ain't nobody wearing those no-limit glasses not dating a sister. I see you, big dog, out there, Joe Burrow. Good everywhere you go. That's it for us. See y'all tomorrow. That's my dog. Look at